Hallo ihr kleinen Wesen.
Hallo ihr kleinen Wesen.
Hallo ihr kleinen Wesen.
Hallo ihr kleinen Wesen.
Hallo.
Hallo.
Wir sind noch halb am Üben. Das wird jetzt ganz schwierig, weil ich habe jetzt auch die Funktion als Dolmetscher. Ich muss jetzt auch ein bisschen übersetzen für die Leute, die nicht so gut Englisch können. Ich habe Crystal dazu überreden können, dass sie um Mitternacht sogar noch wach ist und mit uns ein Interview macht mit Dani und mir. Und genau, ich wollte euch erstmal ganz kurz noch wichtige Informationen sagen, die ich nicht vergessen will. Ich sitze hier ganz offiziell mit meinem Buch und mit unseren 2 grünen Wärmflaschen. Also, wie ihr schon gesehen habt, ist gestern ein ganz kleiner Trailer rausgekommen auf Facebook und Instagram, den wir zusammen noch gemacht haben. Und da seht ihr schon, dass es ganz dolle viel um Zitronis geht. Und es kommt ein Musikvideo raus, was ihr garantiert schon erahnt habt. Und das Video kommt morgen raus, am Sonntag um 3 Uhr Amsterdam- und Berlin-Zeit. Für uns Gott sei Dank 4 Uhr. Kann ich auch davor Yoga machen. Wir machen Yoga zusammen. Und genau, dann gibt es wie beim letzten Mal wieder ein Premiere-Video. Das heißt, dass es so wieder diesen Countdown gibt und dann gibt es ganz kurz einen kleinen Chat. Und mittlerweile weiß ich, dass der Chat nur so lang ist wie das Video selber und ein paar Minuten davor und danach noch. Den Link dazu findet ihr hier drunter. Da könnt ihr jetzt schon unter das Video klicken, da ist der Link. Dann kommt ihr da schon dahin. Da könnt ihr schon ein kleines Vorschaubild sehen und könnt ihr da euch erinnern lassen. Und dann werdet ihr daran erinnert für morgen, für Sonntag. Und weil mir das so gut gefallen hat mit dem Link und dem, dass wir alle miteinander geschrieben haben und alle kleinen Wesen online waren, habe ich mir für dieses Mal überlegt, Achtung, Überraschung, dass ich danach direkt live gehe. Kleines Live-Video. Bitte erwartet keine große Magie. Ich werde einfach live sein und zwar auf meinem Love, Light and Spices Kanal, auf diesem Kanal. Also ich gucke mir das Video mit euch zusammen an um 3 Uhr, chatte mit euch im Chat und danach, so 3:10 Uhr, wahrscheinlich 10 nach 3, gehe ich live. Kleines Live-Video am Sonntag. Überraschung. Kennst du Überraschung? Überraschung. Überraschung.
Überraschung.
Oh, it's the ugliest word ever. It means surprise. Überraschung.
Überraschung.
And you can say, if you surprise somebody, you can say Überraschung. You can just jump out of a cupboard. Überraschung.
Überraschung. I'm learning.
Crystal is thinking about maybe moving to Berlin.
Maybe.
She was once in Berlin and she really liked it.
Yes, very vibrant city.
Crystal überlegt, ob sie vielleicht nach Berlin ziehen möchte, was mich sehr freuen würde. Und euch bestimmt auch. Viele wohnen bestimmt in Berlin. Crystal, I have a few questions for you.
Of course, I would love to answer them.
Also, ihr habt ganz, ganz, ganz tolle Fragen geschrieben. So süße Fragen, dass wir zum Teil ganz gerührt waren beim Lesen. Und auch Fragen, wo wir uns es sofort in die Finger gekribbelt hat und wir die sofort beantworten wollten. When they're so cute, the questions.
Oh, so sweet. And I just have to say too, thank you guys so much for all of the love and sweet comments you have been sharing. Pernilla has been sharing them with me and we've been reading them together and they just make us so happy. So thank you.
Thank you so much. And if we don't get to answer all questions, we will certainly try again and make some time and sit like 2 grannies with our hot water bottles and have another question round. Okay, also wenn wir nicht alle Fragen schaffen von euch, dann werden wir noch mal ein kleines Video machen, weil die wirklich sehr, sehr, sehr süß waren. Wir haben unsere Lieblingsfragen rausgesucht, aber alle waren toll. Wie hat es dich nach Japan verschlagen? Question in English is, how the hell did you go to live in Japan?
So, it was actually pretty unexpected. I did not see it coming myself. So I was living in San Diego at the time, in California, and I have a little fan here. And I had a good friend who moved to Okinawa, Japan, which is a very small island. Very southern end of Japan, and she was there actually with the US military and invited me to go with her. I had actually just recently quit my job and was kind of, you know, didn't really know what was next for me. And
wait, I need to translate.
Yes.
So, also Crystal hat vor 6 Jahren, like 6 years ago or something like this.
2013.
Genau, 2013 hat Crystal noch in San Diego gewohnt und sie hatte aber eine Freundin, die, because of US military, she moved.
Yes.
Wegen dem US-Militär ist sie nach Okinawa gezogen. Die sind also beide Amerikaner gewesen. Und Crystal hatte in dem Moment, Gesundheit, hatte sie, glaube ich, keinen Job. You were looking for it, you didn't really have like a thing to do.
I didn't have a job at the time. I had just quit my job back in San Diego, and so
you were free.
I was free. I didn't really have a plan, and then this opportunity presented itself, and I didn't see any reason as to why I shouldn't go.
But when you left, did you know I was gonna go? Yeah, you were gonna go forever or a week?
No, I left it really open. That was really the only goal that I set for myself, was just to go with an open mind and an open heart and see what happened. And if I stayed for a month, 3 months, 2 years, I had no idea.
And then nice. And how did it feel to sit on the plane and be like, whoo?
Very freeing, definitely very adventurous, and really exciting to think about change and just something different and new and foreign to me. And
so nice.
So it was, very exciting. And
I have to translate.
Yeah.
Also, dann hat sie sowieso keinen Job gerade gehabt, und als ihre Freundin dann nach Okinawa gezogen ist, hat sie gedacht, ich komme einfach mit. Und sie hatte aber gar keinen Plan gemacht, für wie lange und was überhaupt. Sie war einfach ganz free und hat einfach gedacht, ob es jetzt 1 Woche ist oder 2 Monate oder 2 Jahre. Sie lässt es einfach ganz, ganz offen. Und dann habe ich sie gefragt, wie sie sich so im Flugzeug gefühlt hat, als sie dann dahin geflogen ist und gar nicht wusste, was jetzt kommt. Und sie hat gesagt, ganz doll und frei und ganz aufregend noch nicht zu wissen, was jetzt passieren wird. Nice. Ready for the next question? Wie bist du aufs Fotografieren gekommen? How did you get introduced to photography?
So this question is actually closely linked to the first question, in that I really didn't discover a passion and love of photography until I moved to Japan. I purchased my first DSLR camera like before I left, and I didn't know how to use it. But I wanted something to take nice enough pictures that I could document my travels and my experience with. And so I just started taking my camera everywhere with me and going for long walks and just capturing little moments that I found interesting. And
also sie hat vor der Reise noch gar keine Kamera gehabt und hat sich dann gleich vom Losfahren ihre erste DSL Camera, that doesn't say anything, keine Ahnung, was
das ist. So it's a digital camera, essentially.
Eine digitale Kamera gekauft, um ihre Reise zu dokumentieren, und hat dann dort auf Okinawa, which was probably really inspiring landscape.
Yes, absolutely.
Angefangen, kleine Details zu machen und Fotos. But did you already photograph with your phone before and you were like, this is my thing?
No, I never felt like that. I mean, I definitely enjoyed like photography as an art, and I studied architecture for a couple of years in university, so I definitely like gravitated towards the arts and photography, and definitely when I would take photos, I would try to, make them aesthetically pleasing, I guess. So it was something that interested me, definitely, but never.
Were you like, when you were in Japan and you were like freaking out because everything was so beautiful, were you more drawn towards like plants and weird little creatures and animals, or architecture?
I think a little bit of both. I think everything was just so new and exciting that I wanted to just kind of capture as much of it as possible.
Yes. 1 second.
Ja.
Also sie hat sowieso Architektur studiert und ist sowieso in einem künstlerischen Fach sowieso unterwegs gewesen davor. Aber was ich sie gefragt habe, ob sie, bevor sie sich diese fette Kamera gekauft hat, schon davor schon mit ihrem Handy ganz viele Fotos gemacht hat, das war nicht der Fall. Sie hatte einfach Bock. Und dann habe ich sie gefragt, ob sie dann als Architektin dann mehr geflasht war von der Architektur oder von fremden kleinen Kreaturen und Natur, und sie hat gesagt, auf jeden Fall beides. Alles war so neu. I wanted to ask you something else, which I forgot now. What was it? Oh yes, and do you have like a channel or a page where we can see your photography from Okinawa?
I do have a another Instagram account that I would be happy to share. And then I am working on my webpage right now. So,
and is there going to be stuff from Japan on it?
Absolutely. Most of my work is from Japan and some of my travels, but yes, very much love the landscape of Japan. And Okinawa is very different from mainland Japan as well. So Okinawa is subtropical, so
I saw pictures. So insane.
So very island kind of vibe.
But also like very city. Like I saw like some city. Like yesterday we watched a video of that live band in the city.
Yeah.
It's St. Patrick's Day in an Irish pub. And like it was also very...
Yeah, the cities are not so attractive. There's a lot of concrete. I mean, maybe so in most cities, but just because of the intense weather there, they have many typhoons, and so it has to be built to...
I want to translate. Wait, where do I start?
I digress.
Where did we start? What do I have to say?
So,
about pictures. Ja, wenn ihr Bilder sehen wollt aus Okinawa, wo sie angefangen hat mit der Fotografie, dann hat sie noch einen anderen Instagram-Account. Sie hat sich jetzt einen gemacht, extra um sich als Videografin. Den kennt ihr, glaube ich, schon. Den poste ich auch mal unten drunter. Aber es gibt auch einen, den sie schon seit längerer Zeit hat. Und da hat sie ganz viele Bilder und... So, das hat sie jetzt nicht gesagt, aber das weiß ich, dass sie ein kleines Fotostudio. You had like a little studio apartment where you did photography in Okinawa.
Yeah, it was just
my food photography a lot.
Yes, it was just the studio that I lived in. It was just this very small apartment, and literally just had a bed and a dining table as furniture. But I would often, like if I had subjects that I would photograph, then I would invite them into my studio, and I had this really big window sliding door, and it would just let a lot of really beautiful natural light in. So it was like really perfect for what I needed it for.
Yeah, really, really nice pictures. If you want to have a look, we can put the link down below. And did you say anything else that I didn't say yet?
No, but I don't think I answered your question so much about food photography.
Oh yeah, that was just my private question.
But yes, I definitely, I love food.
We love food.
We love food.
We are eating all day long.
It's very
quarantined and eating and editing.
Yes. And just experimenting with new and different flavors in Japan was really exciting as well. So kind of brought my love of passion for cooking and experimenting and photographing it and styling and that sort of thing. So my studio that I lived in was very much a studio in a lot of other ways as well.
I love your food photography. And the way she puts it together, it's really not about the food at all only. She like has, oh god, you have to look at it. It's pure porn to the eye. It's like a little linen cloth and like really old sailor cloth, kind of blue, on like an old wooden table with like super cute dish, and then there'd be just like one like really roasted tomato on it. There would be like a lot of vegetables and colors and a sprinkle and some water drops on like a lemon slice. It's so nice. Really love it.
Thank you.
We got such a cute question from Robert. And we actually really loved it. You got really excited when I was reading it.
Yes, I really
cute question. Question is, has your approach to photography and video been influenced by Japanese aesthetic concepts? And if so, which concepts are those? And in which ways do they influence your way of seeing and find their way into your artistic world? I gotta translate first, because not everyone got it. Also für alle, die das... Ich habe einen Stift in der Hand und müsse richtig wild drauf. She wants my pen. Oh Gott. Für alle, die das noch nicht mitbekommen haben, die Crystal hat also 6 Jahre in Japan gewohnt. Also sind dann 6 Jahre das geworden. I'm just saying that you actually lived there for 6 years. Because we forgot to say, just so that they're like talking about Japan all the time. They've been for like 2 weeks. And she lived there for 6 years. Und die Frage fragt, ist deine Herangehensweise an Fotografie und Video, wurde die beeinflusst durch Ästhetik aus Japan und ästhetische Konzepte? Und wenn das so ist, welche Konzepte sind es und auf welche Art und Weise hat es deine Art und Weise beeinflusst, die Welt zu sehen? Und wie hat es seinen Weg in deine künstlerische Welt gefunden?
It's a Such a sweet question.
Do you remember it? Yes? Okay.
Yeah. So, yes, so Japan is so special to me. I love it so much. And my photography specifically is very much influenced by the aesthetics of Japanese traditions and aesthetics. Overall, I would say that Japan tradition, really, they have such a deep reverence for nature, which is so beautiful, and you see it manifested in so much of what they do in their everyday life, and just little like traditions in the home, and really embracing the idea of impermanence and the aging of things. And
sorry.
Yes.
Also in Japan hat sie gelernt, dass die Natur eine ganz große Wichtigkeit hat. You said nature had a big importance.
Yes, very important. Yeah.
Aber was sie besonders fasziniert hat, ist, und da frage ich gleich nochmal nach, sie gesehen hat, dass eine Schönheit in den Dingen war, die vergänglich waren. I want to ask, how was this that you saw, like, that things were aging, and what could you see, or in what way, because things are aging everywhere, right?
Of course. So, I mean, so just the way that they care for maybe like a Japanese garden, the focus wasn't always on like abundance, and you know, there would often be just an open space with little stones, pebbles, and then maybe one bonsai tree, you know, that was imperfect and kind of just quirky, and but the focus would be on that tree, but really kind of this idea of less is more, to say, maybe. And
would they let it like age? Would they let like moss crawl over things and algae? I don't know.
Yeah, I think maybe depends on the environment, but I mean, if you go to some of the more like maybe old traditional gardens, they probably maintain those really well. But I think like in everyday homes, yeah, like the nature is so much a part of their culture that it's really like embracing the seasonality of certain plants. And I mean, the cherry blossoms, for example, are so much a part of their tradition.
Like a Japanese thing, right?
It is. It's a very important tradition, and it's just 2 weeks out of the year that are so important. And
are they only blooming for 2 weeks?
Yeah, they're so ephemeral. Like they come and go, and so it's like during this very brief period that they have to really enjoy them, and they take so much pleasure and in doing so. So it's very important for them to take part in that. As an example.
Did you ever take nice pictures of cherry blossoms?
I have some pictures of cherry blossoms, of course. And they do bloom in Okinawa too. They bloom in different times of the year in different regions of the country. So yeah, so we saw.
Also sie hat gesagt, dass ich habe sie nach der Vergänglichkeit von Sachen gefragt, und sie hat gesagt, ja, einmal das, aber die Gärten wären auch nicht so überladen, wie man das so davon ausgehen würde oder wie man das auch aus anderen Ländern kennt, sondern die Schönheit würde eigentlich eher in der Einfachheit der Dinge liegen, und dass es nicht von 1000 irgendwie Brücken und Pflanzen und so voll ist, sondern vielleicht einfach ein kleiner Garten, der einfach voll mit kleinen Kieseln ist, und in der Mitte würde einfach ganz krumm und schief ein kleiner Bonsai-Baum stehen, der einfach da vor sich alleine steht, und das würde sie inspirieren. Aber dann hat sie auch erzählt, zum Beispiel davon, dass, sie hat ja vorhin gesagt, dass die Natur so wichtig ist, aber eben auch die Vergänglichkeit von Natur. Und es gibt tatsächlich, also es gibt ja diese Kirschblütenzeit, die ich nur von so Mangas kenne und so, die es anscheinend nur 2 Wochen gibt, 2 weeks, wo sie blühen, und dass alle sich so sehr darüber freuen, dass diese 2 Wochen da sind, und auch wenn es nur so kurz ist, dass es ein richtig wichtiges Event ist und dass alle die Schönheit von diesem sehr kurzen Moment genießen. Und auf Okinawa gab es auch Kirschblüten, und sie hat auch Fotos davon gemacht.
Can I say something else?
Yes,
just part of that question, because I feel like I didn't really fully answer it. But so one of the philosophies that is really beautiful in Japanese culture is mano no aware.
Oh, what is
it's
that?
So beautiful, and it's basically like this deep appreciation and acknowledgement of the sadness, but also the beauty in like transient things. And I mean,
what does transient mean?
So like ephemeral, something that passes quickly, that doesn't last very long. And so that's very much a part of their culture, and it's such a beautiful concept. I mean, that you know, to think about just in our everyday lives. Like,
is that one word?
It's three, mano no aware.
And what does it mean, like word?
So it literally translates to the pathos of things. So like the feelings of things. So having kind of this appreciation for accepting things in the moment as they are, and they're beautiful, and there is like this kind of fleeting sadness with that because we know it's going to end, but it also makes it so much more beautiful because it, you know, it just it's extraordinary. So so that is really special, I think, but also just appreciating simple, like and beauty in the mundane. You know, it doesn't have to be. And actually, a lot of my photography, I like to play a lot with light and shadow,
and that is something that passes quickly also, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so especially shadow, I think I'm drawn to, because I feel like it just kind of leaves room for imagination, and that's, I think
you can see tomorrow when our video is coming out, there's a lot of shadows in there.
Yes, there is in there. So.
Ich liebe auch Shadows sehr. Sie hat gesagt, sie hat diesen schönen Satz gesagt, maybe you want to repeat that?
Mano no aware.
Ja, und das bedeutet, the translation of
so the pathos of things, so like the feelings of things.
Oh, the feelings. So ich hoffe, ich sag's gut, die Gefühle der Dinge. Und das beschreibt die Vergänglichkeit von Sachen, und das ist wohl ein Satz, der irgendwie eine Wichtigkeit hat in der japanischen Kultur, und den liebt sie sehr, und der beschreibt eben, dass man eine Sache in dem Moment, in dem sie eben gerade besteht, auch wenn sie in Kürze nicht mehr so sein wird, dass man aber trotzdem sie in voller Andacht irgendwie wahrnimmt und genießt und ihre Schönheit würdigt, ja, weil jeder Moment einzigartig ist, und das liebt sie sehr. Und sie liebt auch Schatten und Licht und auch die Schönheit in den alltäglichen Dingen, mundane things. Schönheit, einen schönen, feinen Blick und Detail zu sehen in Dingen, an denen viele Leute wahrscheinlich vorbeilaufen in ihrem Leben. Und sie hatte eine große Faszination für Schatten, was sowohl was Alltägliches ist, als auch etwas, was schnell vergeht. Und morgen im Video könnt ihr Schatten sehen, ganz viele Schatten. I also love shadows so much. I want a shadow theater in my van.
You need it.
Oh, and I heard of these Japanese like shadow boxes or something. Have you seen them?
I've seen them. I don't know so much about them.
I want the Japanese shadow box in my van, like a big one.
Oh! I'm sure we could find one for you.
Oh, that would be so sweet. Are you looking forward to our video release tomorrow?
Oh, absolutely. It's gonna be really special and bright and playful, and yeah, I think you guys will really love it.
Are you a little bit nervous?
For the release?
Yeah.
I don't know, nervous.
I am, because I have to go live afterwards.
I'll be there if you would like me there.
Letztes Mal waren wir auch ganz entspannt, und dann ging dieser Countdown los. The countdown was like, we were just like, oh yeah, it's coming out. And then it was like 7, 6, 5, and then all of a sudden the chat was online, and you guys were already writing. And Crystal will be there in time.
Yes, I definitely will be. I was
because last time there were problems.
Yes.
But she will be in the chat.
Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on Sunday.
Crystal ist die einzige Person, die ich kenne, die auch ihre Passwörter für alles vergisst. You're the only person that I know who always loses all her passwords for everything.
Oh, yes, it's true. It happens all the time.
And she's even kind of like my age. So it's really nice because people are like, what? Are you not too old to forget your Facebook password? Why don't you just write it? You should have a document with all of your passwords. Good idea. Yeah, I started it like 3 times and then my computer crashed.
Exactly. Then what?
You just have to reset it, and then you have a new one, which you're gonna forget.
Right, exactly.
Oh God, we're already talking 24 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Shall we skip to like 2 last ones?
Yeah.
I have like There's really, really, really sweet ones. We have so sweet ones, but
so sweet ones.
because they're so sweet, we want to go more into them.
Yeah.
So we want to give them more room. So if you really like this video, tell us.
Yes.
And then if there's like a question that didn't get answered or something, or now you're really intrigued by something, you can put it in the comments. And maybe I can talk Krista into being in front of the camera one more time because she really hates it.
I am quite camera shy, but I think
that's so sweet.
I think I might get over that.
You know what süß is? Süß. Cute. But sweet also. Like you say, oh, chocolate is so süß. So süß. So süß. Du bist auch so süß. Okay, Chris, I have a very important question for you. It deals with toilets.
Oh gosh. I think I know where this is going.
Ich möchte ganz kurz was sagen. Ich wusste, dass die Kristall in Japan gewohnt hat und ich hatte nur so Gerüchte gehört und so freaky Sachen auf Facebook gelesen, dass die Toiletten ganz freaky sind in Japan. Aber ich habe ich habe gedacht, vielleicht in so einem Fashion Hotel oder sowas. Ich habe nicht gedacht, nicht im Everyday Life. Da habe ich Kristall gefragt, war die Toilette freaky? Und sie so, Und dann stellte sich raus, sie war so freaky. So tell us about your toilet.
Oh, my toilet. I'm assuming you're talking about my Japanese toilet.
Yes!
Well, I guess it was quite luxurious, if a toilet if a toilet can be such.
Sehr luxuriös.
But it's quite standard in Japan to have such a thing.
Komplett normal, sowas.
There are cleaning mechanisms.
Es gibt also Säuberungsmöglichkeiten, Mechanismen.
And what I think my favorite thing about the Japanese toilet had to be the heated seat.
Man kann die Klobrille heizen und das war ihre Lieblingsfunktion. Ich hab's nicht geglaubt.
Which you could actually adjust the temperature on.
Man kann die Temperatur einstellen und das war total Standard. So what would you wouldn't put the degree number in, would you?
No, there was just like a low, medium, and high setting.
Which one did you always put? High. You put the high. You're the hot water girl. Sie hat also immer die wärmste Einstellung. Ah yeah, and you once told me that you'd have it on at night, so in case you got up at night, you were
especially in the winter time. Not that it got so cold in Okinawa, but.
Also auch wenn es auf Okinawa nicht so kalt wurde, hatte sie die trotzdem nachts an, was man dann so macht, damit, falls man nachts mal auf Klo muss, dass man sich auf die warme Klobrille setzt. Das ist decadent.
It was very indulgent.
Wow. Okay, tell us about the cleaning mechanisms.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, I heard there are two, right?
There are two.
Es gibt zwei.
Einen
für vorne und einen für...
Yes.
One for the front and one for the back.
Yep.
And was there soap in it?
No.
Just pure water?
Yes, yeah.
Was it warm water, I hope?
Yes, it was.
Also, vorne und hinten, so ein kleines... Were they both the same?
I won't tell.
Were they both the same thing? Or did they have different, like, forces? The front and the back?
Well, it depends. I mean... different toilets have different settings, so...
Also alle Toiletten sind unterschiedlich.
But some were very, very luxurious.
Oh.
And there were many settings for many different things.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
also eins hat sich auf vorne und eins auf hinten konzentriert. Und man konnte das auch so einstellen, dass es dann auch an die Stelle für einen persönlich, die man am Körper halt so, dass es auch an die richtige Stelle kommt. Und zwar warmes Wasser, aber ohne Seife. Aber es gibt natürlich noch viele, there's probably, like if you have the basics, I don't even want to know.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's funny, I have many American friends who lived in Japan as well, and then moved back to the States, and the first thing they did when they got home was buy a Japanese toilet.
Also sie hat auch ein paar Freunde aus Amerika, die auch in Japan gewohnt haben. Und als sie wieder zurück nach Amerika gezogen sind, war das erste, was sie gemacht haben, sich eine japanische Toilette zu gelegt. Are you gonna do the same? Because you're not moving. You're gonna move somewhere.
Somewhere.
Are you gonna get a Japanese toilet?
Who knows?
Do you miss it here?
I don't necessarily miss it. I don't miss it, but I mean, I'm sure
you
if I
miss
had
it.
I'm sure if I had it, I would be very, very happy.
Oh.
It's nice.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And you don't use as much toilet paper, so that's something.
Man benutzt nicht so viel Toilettenpapier. And would it also have like a drying function?
Some of them do.
Did yours have?
Yes, it did actually.
Es hatte auch einen kleinen Föhn. And were you like completely dry, or would you like make all of your pants wet with
No, because you could, you know.
How long would a pee take? Like just a pee?
This is getting quite personal.
Sorry. I really need to know. Es hat auch getrocknet. 3 minutes?
Oh gosh, no.
Oh,
no.
shorter.
Very, like maybe 10 seconds, maybe.
Oh, okay.
I mean, seconds.
I was thinking you just sit there and just wait till it's over.
Okay. No.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's quick. It's quick. It needs to be quick.
But like if you would go like to the train station, like you know, like central station, like big thing, you know, and usually when you go to the toilets you don't really want to touch anything because like a lot of people go there. Would they have a thing like that and would you use it?
I usually only use mine.
Okay.
But I mean it's not uncommon for people to use that in public places.
Oh.
I guess it just depends. Yeah.
Okay, ich habe sie gefragt, ob sie es auch an einem öffentlichen Ort benutzen würde. Also jetzt zum Beispiel am Hauptbahnhof von irgendwas, wo ganz viele Leute sind und wo man ja eher versucht, nicht so viel anzufassen. Und da gibt es das auch und es gibt Leute, die es definitiv auch da benutzen würden, aber sie jetzt persönlich nicht. Okay.
I feel like that got really personal.
Yeah. Maybe we should stop. Was it too personal? Should I take it out? Shall I delete it? Shall I mute you? No! I'm so sorry. Was I a really annoying interviewer?
No, it's fine.
I think, yeah. Do you still want to say something? 31 minutes. God.
I am just so looking forward to Sunday. I can't wait to see you guys and to share what we've been working on. Yeah, it's been really wonderful to be here in Syros and working with Pernilla. Very unexpected meeting.
Yeah,
so
very
lovely. Yes. But it's been very inspiring and we're both feeling very creative and
Ich habe jetzt alles verstanden. Sie freut sich. And what do you think of Trump?
Just go back to the other video and you'll see my thoughts on that.
Vielen Dank fürs Zuhören. Ich hoffe, ich habe es mit dem Übersetzen gut gemacht. Ich wollte nicht den Vibe zerstören und nicht so viel unterbrechen und alles gut erklären. Und wahrscheinlich könnt ihr alle ganz toll Englisch und es war super überflüssig und ich habe euch die ganze Sachen erzählt, die ihr schon wusstet oder viel besser übersetzen konntet. Und jetzt sagen wir Tschüss. Tschüss.
Tschüss.